Today we are walking through the paper lost in Backpropagation. The LM head is a gradient bottleneck.
Give me the big picture first.
The paper says the last projection in a language model does more than limit what distributions the model can express. Because the vocabulary is far larger than the hidden state, that output head also compresses the backward signal, so optimization itself becomes the bottleneck.
What exactly is the LM head in this setup?
It is the final linear map that turns each hidden state into one score per token. The backbone can only learn from the gradient that comes back through that map, so if the head is low rank, the training signal reaching earlier layers is already compressed.
People already talked about the softmax bottleneck. What did earlier work leave open?
Earlier work mostly treated it as an expressivity problem, meaning the model may not represent every possible next tone distribution.
So what is the paper's core mechanism?
Their main claim is that the ideal correction lies in vocabulary size logit space.
Can you make that compression concrete with the equation they use?
Equation 10 measures what fraction of the logit gradient disappears when it passes through the output head.
Do they show that real logit gradients are actually high rank?
This rank plot shows that real logit gradients quickly become close to full rank as batch size grows, so a low rank head has to approximate a signal that is much richer than it can carry.
How much of the signal is actually lost in trained models?
Across several model families, the output head throws away about 95 to 99% of the logit gradient norm, so the model learns from a heavily distorted feedback signal.
Does that distortion show up in full pre-training runs?
With the same backbone, a larger head rank trains much faster, and the 4096 setting reaches the final loss of the 32 setting after about 700 million tokens, which the paper describes as a 16 times speedup.
And after pre-training, does the better head still matter on downstream tasks?
The zero-shot scores also improve as head dimension grows, and the paper reports a final weighted average gap of plus 0.55 between the two largest settings.
Could someone still say this is just expressivity in disguise?
Spamline is a deliberately trivial repeated token task, so if a model with enough expressivity still fails there, the bottleneck has to be an optimization rather than representation.
What do the training curves show on that synthetic task?
As vocabulary size grows, the same model becomes much harder to train even though each token should still appear hundreds of times. Some settings stop converging properly at any tested learning rate, and generated sequences stop repeating the seed token reliably. That is hard to explain with expressivity alone and fits the gradient compression story.
So what is the limitation of previous research in one sentence?
Previous work noticed that a low-rank head can restrict outputs.
If they do not propose a new head yet, what is the paper actually contributing?
The contribution is a new way to diagnose LM heads. The paper combines theory, controlled pre-training, and synthetic experiments to argue that future head designs should be judged by how well they preserve useful gradient information, not only by the distributions they can represent.
What should I remember after all of that?
The takeaway is that the LM head is not just a readout layer, it discards much of the correction signal that should teach the backbone, which slows training, hurts quality, and motivates new head designs.
So the main message is that the output head is a training bottleneck, not only a representation bottleneck.
That wraps up this paper walkthrough.